Well guys, before we get the video started, I now have Raccoon bait on the website. For those of you that don't want to make your own or experiment and trying to catch stuff with store-bought ingredients, I do have it on the website. Website's always in the description. There's been a lot of people asking for it, and I got some going. I think I just saw a mouse run by. Sons of a bitch. I'm gonna get you. Guess I'm going hunting, boys. I got the pelican right here. There's been one. I shot one the other day, and there's been another one. Could poison them, but it's kind of fun trying to shoot them with the scope. So let's get to the video. I'm going to Beemer's. Won't film this time. I got to get to know the dude, and then I'm going to go get a bunch of hybrids and stuff. So stay tuned. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. So I went to Beemer's. They're over in Bedford, Iowa. I feel stupid trying to record, so I didn't even ask. So here we are. We're back at the pond, and look at this sack of minnows I got here. That's a lot of minnows. Frankie's sitting there. We got a bunch of baby bluegill that are getting crazy out of hand. Look at them all. Goldfish in here. So I'm gonna set these in here. We're gonna get them, and then I got a bunch of hybrid bluegills I want to show you guys. So I'm gonna get these in here. We're going straight in. I think the water's probably about the same. We'll see. I didn't have a big enough container for everything I went for, so here we are. Let me see what we got. We got the hybrid bluegill right there. You guys can see him. He's hungry. He's like, hey, feed me that guy. Pretty close. We'll just let some of this water in here. Got a few tadpoles that came with him. That is a lot of minnows. I got 75 of the sunfish, and they're all different sizes, but they are going to grow big, and we're going to try to grow big hybrids in here. Look at the size of those guys. We'll get them in. Frankie the bass, leave him alone. We got plenty to eat. Frankie, leave him alone. Now I got another cooler. The yellow one, there's 75 in there. They're gonna go to another pond. We'll take you over there. We're gonna try to grow some big bluegill in it also. Let's see if we can get these out of here. We'll do it this way, I guess. Whoo, look at them boys. Look at them boys splashing. Oh, good looking. Oh, good looking sunfish. I'm gonna call them sunfish, but they're not. Frankie, leave them alone. Frankie's got all kinds of minnows, goldfish. I've stocked it up really good just for this reason. And I got so many freaking other bluegills that need to be ate. Frankie, better leave him alone. I'm gonna make sure the bubbler's still going in this one. Okay. Anybody left? One. So there's our 75 hybrid bluegill. We will eliminate the regular bluegill at some point. Once these start growing, we'll be catching them out and we'll be culling them out for size. I'm gonna see if I can find that ball of minnows. They went and they balled up fast. They went that way. Whew. There's a few stragglers that are missing their friends, but it's gonna be a lot of bluegill. So we took Debbie, I took Debbie out and I put her in that pond that has all the sunfish to let her gorge. And I'm gonna catch her back in the spring, but she's gonna be massive. Where are the balls of minnows at? Let's see here. Right there, the big ball. Minnows swimming right there. Woo! It's a lot of minnows. Oh God, look at this ball of minnows. This is awesome. I love seeing the minnows. They look so awesome. Minnows are awesome. Probably don't need anything but just minnows in a pond. They get all schooled up and they just look sweet. So we're going to do that quite often. We're just going to keep trapping minnows, and we're going to have, there's another big ball right here. We are going to basically be feeding minnows to the bass and all the hybrid bluegill, and plus I'll be feeding food. I got a high protein food for the minnows. Those are big. Whew. 2 balls right there, 2 minnow balls. I hope you guys can see them. Well guys, here's the pond we're going to put them in. It's got some big bass in it, but you see all the cover. I mean, it's got crazy cover for them to hide right now. And I'm going to end up buying another 75 of them when I go back to get the albino catfish. He's got some 2-pound albino catfish that he's going to catch up for me. But all the way around this, there's cattails, everything. Structures out here. So, like I said, there's some tadpoles going in, but just a bunch of floppers. 75 of them suckers, and we're gonna put them in here. Just whoop, they're in. So I'm gonna get some pictures for the homeowner real quick. I'm gonna get some tadpoles also. I should have threw them in my pond, but that's okay. But they're pretty. I told him, whoop, that one's in. I told him we don't want to keep the people that come and catch for set and throw lines. We don't want to let anybody keep any bluegill. Everyone thinks everything's a bluegill, but you don't want to keep the bluegills with a big mouth. So these have the mouth of a sunfish. It's just big mouth, so be easy to tell them apart. I think we put another 75 in here. Maybe you get some bigger ones. And I think we can, you know, even if it's only so many 1-pounders or 2-pounders, it'd still be fun. That's what we're going to do, and they're going to fend for themselves, per se. All right, here we go. This is going to be the most safe place to dump them. Got a 3-pound bluegill. Hopefully. All right, sweet. Now we make a couple casts and try to fend off the bass. Well, guys, I just went for a swim, stirred up the water a little bit, but there was a couple things I wanted to show. How many baby bluegill there are. I'm pretty sure I've seen a couple baby bass also. That means Debbie and Frankie, you know. I hope not. You could see the little, what would we call that one? Little junior bass. He's swimming around. No gar. I did not see any gar, and I did not see the muskie. But you go on this side, and all the fish that are shy go to that side. Only the ones that want to see beyond camera, you'll see. Which that bass, the little bass and the big bass, really wanted to be on camera, and so did the bluegill. A few koi came around, but I didn't notice the crappie, and the catfish kind of stirred to the other side. But I did get a little bit of footage, I think, of them. But turns out it looks like the bass eats the bigger prey, which would make sense a little bit. But there's so much small food that they could eat. I mean, I'm looking right now, and I can just see hundreds of baby bluegill. So here's the plan now. Now that I added these hybrids, there's probably almost 100 hybrids in there. We're gonna catch out the regular bluegills, except for we'll probably leave the great big ones. Maybe. They may go to a different pond. I wanna try to grow some giant hybrids in here. It's just a tiny little pond. But the point of this video was to show how many baby bluegill you could get in such a tiny water hole. I mean, it's only 60 by 35. There is so many. If you didn't have a bass in here, there's so many bluegill. It'd be overrun in 1 year. It's crazy. And I had 2 giant bass. I've had muskie, everything in here eating. And there's just so much stuff in here still. It's such a tiny area. You put that giant habitat in the middle, I could just see everything's around that. I don't know how good the footage is. It's kind of shadow, but the minnow schools are awesome that I just put in there. They've schooled up. I see them eating over there. I see a school on the habitat there, and then I can see a school over this way. That's pretty sweet to see. But the goal now, sort of, Frankie's here to stay, but I did have an itch to put Frankie in another pond that I kind of starting to manage, and then buy 25 smallmouth bass and start fresh. But I still want giant bluegill. That's the goal. We're gonna get a feeder. I got high protein feed now. We just gotta watch our water quality is the most important. But apart from minnows, I'm done feeding Frankie. Him and little Junior can just go to town on every little freaking minnow and bluegill in here. I think my bigger hybrids will be fine now because there's just so much food in there. There's even goldfish. There's like 100 goldfish in there. So I got to stop putting some stuff in there for a little bit because Frankie's like, whatever. He's not even right here. He's got so much food he don't even care about me anymore. But there is a huge school of minnows here. Check this out. Now tell me that ain't awesome. Look at that. Shimmering. It's a giant school on the habitat. That is awesome. But from what I've seen, I'm gonna butcher her last name, but on Instagram there's a chick named Sarah Pervin, and she is trying to grow a world record copper nose. And man, those bluegills are beautiful. And I'm just hooked on all of her posts she does. Look at that ball right there. That's just a huge ball of minnows. So awesome to see. But if you go find Sarah Parvin, I believe it's how you say it. Look at her giant. And there's a couple YouTube podcasts I've seen. But I just thought it'd be cool to have a couple 1-2 pound hybrids in here. Obviously, I have 100 hybrids, but that don't mean we need to keep 100 once they get big. But we're gonna grow them and let them get as thick as possible, and they're just gonna be huge. Then we'll probably do some catch and cooks, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully Frankie leaves them alone, because there's just so many little bluegills he could eat. But he'll probably target my favorite, like the gar and all that. So I have a feeling the muskie might not be in here no more, because I found one there months ago. I seen one jump up here underneath the dock and then get back in the water. I have a feeling they just jumped out thinking that was a waterfall. Which if you're a fish that jumps out, you ain't gonna make it long in a pond like this. So look at this. That's just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I could have a minnow pond. I could really have just a minnow pond. Now I see why Flair wants a minnow pond. Man.